lately, it seems, in our area, you let me know if it's happening where you're at, but the skilled nursing facilities are starting in their admissions process to have a discharge plan in place prior to admission. And that really wasn't a whole big thing when Charmaine was at a skilled nursing facility, social service director, before she came on board here. I'm sure they try to do a little bit about that, but I didn't really hear about it. Now we're hearing about it, and it's coming just out in the open that they don't want to have somebody and admit them in their skilled nursing facility if they don't have a discharge plan to go along with it. And the reason is, and they may not tell you this, but it's just business, this part of it. If they take somebody on and they don't have a discharge plan, and let's say they have 800 SSI, and then they're there for short term and they got nowhere to go, and then they can private pay all they want, bill them $300 a day, whatever it is, but they're not going to get any money, so they're just occupying a bed with no revenue. So they're incorporating the discharge plan at the beginning, which I think is wise. Now, the uncomfortable part of it all, because we're advocate for seniors, that is going to make it extremely difficult for some residents to get into skilled nursing. Where before it's kind of like, oh, okay, I'm going to go there. And you may have heard people say this. I've heard it a lot of times over the years. Well, I'm just trying to keep mom there. Shoot, that's good. That's all right with me. They don't care about the sharing the room. They don't care about being a hospital, not a home setting. It's just somewhere mom can be, and they don't have to worry about paying. Well, that day is coming to an end. And so I don't know what happens to residents that can't get in, but I'm just letting you guys know what's happening here. Any of you guys experiencing that in your area?
I'm experiencing something similar, but working in the rehab world with my day job, we have to start planning discharge from day one in the SNF. So it's not necessarily before they are admitted, but day one, when we do the rehab evaluation, we have to start planning discharge, and the social worker is starting to plan discharge. So what I've been trying to do with my business is I'm like, how can I get in on that initial discharge plan?
Mm-hmm.
And so I have been talking with a couple of social workers trying to get in from day one versus, hey, we just got a nomnic and this person needs to be discharged in 3 days and you need to find assisted living. So I'm trying to get in sooner. And, if I have to find them another SNF, a long-term care SNF, that's great. Preferably, I'd like to find assisted living or a care home, but I'm just trying to get in there earlier. And I really haven't succeeded yet. I haven't tried real hard, but I want to get in there that first week that someone's in rehab in a SNF.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and if this becomes a situation in all states, which I don't know, but it really puts a whole lot of credence on us getting out to the hospitals and get it on the front end. Because if we wait until it gets to the SNF and they've got a discharge plan in place, and that discharge plan does not include us in some form or fashion, then we won't get that lead. So, yeah.
I've noticed with my social workers, I'm getting calls earlier than I was. I don't know if that has something to do with it. I'm getting calls like week 1, week 2 in rehab instead of where they have to be discharged in 3 days. And we just got into a local hospital. Actually, my mom had walked in when they were doing their meeting with like 10 or 15 of them at the same time. So I've been working with that hospital with a client. So it kind of all tied together. But yeah, I'm noticing I'm getting calls week 1, week 2, as opposed to 3 days before they're being discharged.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think I've said that in the academy, because I experienced it a lot, where there was times early on in my business, 18 and 19, those years where before COVID, I'd walk in and sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it was like, hey, they're going to be discharged in a few days. Or there was one situation, I walked in and saw the social workers, had a meeting with the family at 3 o'clock that afternoon. She says, oh, I'm glad you're meeting with him today because he's being discharged tomorrow. And I was like, oh, we better get busy. So I was like, so we did, the virtual tour was all on my phone. We got all the information on the spot, and we did a couple of tours the next morning, and then mom moved in that afternoon. It was all like within 24 hours. So to Brittany's point, that's probably going to, won't happen as often because they'll start having their discharge planning at the beginning.